The queens enter the workroom much more subdued than usual. Kay looks tired and there appears to be some lingering tension between Olivier and Mewtwo.
It's a new day in the workroom and, if I'm honest, I'm feeling heartbroken for Almin. He told me how badly he wanted to prove himself in this competition. I'm gutted that he didn't fight for his place. There's every chance he would have beaten me, but I can't dwell on that. I need to use the second chance the judges have given me.
General Katsuki pipes up and congratulates Olivier on winning the design challenge last week. Olivier thanks him. Tatsumi congratulates Elle and Esteth on their top placement and congratulates General Katsuki on being saved from the lip sync because he didn't have a storyline.
What the hell does Tatsumi mean by that?
Oh, here we go. The attention whore is at it again.
Junta tells Tatsumi not to start, but General Katsuki jumps in and asks him what the hell he is talking about. Tatsumi snickers and says the only reason that Katsuki wasn't in the bottom was because production wanted to see the lovers lip sync for the ratings, otherwise Yuri would have been sent home as his outfit was trash.
What can I say? His outfit was ill-fitted and basic. How are you going to be anime's next drag superstar if you look like a hot mess on the runway? Okay, I take it back. He's just a mess on the runway.
Katsuki tells Tatsumi that no one cares what he has to say and that he was in the bottom too. Tatsumi says that was just a formality as the judges all loved his outfit. Junta rolls his eyes.
Utterly delusional and utterly annoying. That's the quote-unquote Tatsumi way.
A tense silence falls before Tatsumi speaks again. Tatsumi says he knows the group thinks he's a bit of a dick and he really wants to rectify that as he doesn't want to be a messy sister. He says he's going to enter his congenial era for this episode to prove it. Mewtwo says he's off to a great start.
Tatsumi knows exactly what he's doing. He's got some of the queens all riled up. These queens need to focus and not let him get under their skin.
Tatsumi congenial? Yeah, when hell freezes over.
Kei ignores Tatsumi and chimes in immediately to say he's grateful to have another chance but sad for Almin. Kei says he'll miss him and that he was fierce competition. Olivier puts a hand on his shoulder and agrees that Almin was a fierce queen.
I'm sad for Omen. I think he had a lot more to show, and it's hard knowing he didn't fight to show that. That said, he wanted to protect Kei, and I respect that.
I don't mean to come off cold, but why are we all mourning Aomin? He had a setback in this competition, and then just gave up. Not especially admirable to me. I just think all these queens are being fake, cheersing to Aomin and wishing him the best. Kei is the only one who really cared for him. So why are the others acting like they were his sister?
Before anyone can respond to Kei, the TV turns on to introduce the mini-challenge.
Intruder alert! Intruder alert! Daijin has taken control and is on your screen, here to introduce the mini-challenge all the way from the Shadow Realm.
I don't know how Daijin has gotten himself so much screen time post-elimination, but I'm living for it.
Whether you're a cold bitch like Esdeath or a hashtag bad drag queen like Tatsumi, reading is fundamental. It's time to release your shade and let it block out the sun.
Wow, these queens must be threatened by me if they keep reading me. They obviously recognize I'm fierce competition. I don't feel threatened being read by a second out. If Daijin was talented like me, he wouldn't need to beg Yugi and Ash for more screen time.
Hello, 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 queens, and welcome back to Daijin's Drag Race. As your host mentioned, for today's mini-challenge, you'll be reading each other for filth. Though from the look of it, life has already done that to most of you.
Ash enters the workroom looking exasperated.
Honestly, if I'd realized you and Daijin would be so chaotic, I would have pest control on site. It's like herding cats and flops around here.
Well, Ash, it looks like you didn't catch them all.
That was a good one, Koopa. And I'm just kidding about you being a flop.
Oh, I know. That's why you're bringing me back to the competition this week, right?
Oh, absolutely not. Though if this chaos increases our ratings, you just might be a shoe-in for all stars.
Stunning.
Queens, I can tell there are some pent-up emotions in this workroom. So it's time to read your good sisters for filth. Kay, you're up first.
Reading other queens really isn't my strong suit, but I'll give it a go. Elle, I was thinking we should hit the arcade after this competition. I hear you're an ace at Dance Dance Revolution.
As we saw in the Yusicle, I really cannot dance. That was a good read from Kay.
Tatsumi. I would read you for being a messy queen, but your confessionals are doing that for you.
The only thing messy was your sorcerer runway look last week.
Very shady, Kay, well done. Elle, your turn.
Mewtwo. In my eyes, the true winner of the 6th annual Miss I Can't Get a Win on Cartoon Drag Race Award.
A distinguished read, that was funny. If anyone else had said that, they would be getting mother's wrath.
It's true that beauty is in the eye of the beholder. But General Katsuki, that doesn't mean you can wear whatever you want down the runway.
My fashion sense isn't that bad, is it? Wait, is it? Tell me the truth. No, actually don't.
Some good quips, L. S-Death, what have you got for us?
Tatsumi, I'm cold. You're hot. Why don't we even each other out?
Gross. Enough of the flirting, please.
Esdeath isn't afraid to be bold. I'll give her that. I've got her wrapped around my finger.
Junta, you in drag is like eating vanilla ice cream. Safe and not all that exciting.
Oh, come off it, you tired old hag. This is all the same with Esdeath and Tatsumi. All hot air and no real substance.
Interesting reads. Olivier, you're up next.
Tatsumi, you remind me of Lola the fish. One note and being shady is your only talent.
Yes, Olivier, go in.
Junta. You said you held the title of hottest man in Japan in 2023. Can I ask, was there only one entrant into the competition?
That was shady. I approve.
Good work, Olivier. Mewtwo, you're up next.
Olivier, my psychic powers saved your dress last week, though my psychic powers predict it's your week to go home.
Right. That was an interesting read, Mewtwo.
L, you're an intelligent and articulate queen, though apparently your brain can't communicate to your feet.
Oof, not Mewtwo's strongest read.
Well, Mewtwo, at least you tried. Yurio, you're up next.
Every cast needs a filler queen. Though from the sound of it, the only thing that was filling you was...
Yurio, keep it PG, please.
Fine. General Katsuki, the only thing general about you is your general lack of talent.
Meh.
And we started this reading challenge so strong. General Katsuki, you're up.
I can see the panic written on his face when he stands in front of the other queens. A general must stay cool under pressure. Don't worry, I'll whip him into shape.
I totally froze up there. My mind went blank and I couldn't think. Oh god, how embarrassing. I really hate improv.
Memorable, at least. Katsuki, I'm putting you out of your misery. You can join the other queens.
Not a single read? I told you episode 1. General Katsuki is Japan's biggest flop.
I'm not hopeful, but Tatsumi, can you please save this reading challenge?
Absolutely. I love to read. Let me show you how it's done. Olivier, what's it like having a personality less interesting than cardboard?
Excuse me?
Daijin, you were second out, so you're clearly not that talented, though it must feel good to have still had more screen time than Mewtwo.
This little twink did not just come for me like that. I will end him.
L, you're so clumsy. I'm surprised you didn't slip during the musical and end up in a coma again.
Wow. Well, I guess he went there.
Sorry, Blondie. What was your name? J? A. I can't remember. You're just so forgettable.
Well, at least I'm not a
And then we have Junta. Junta, you're so untalented that you remind me of General Katsuki. Junta, your whole career is built on being hot, and even that is running on borrowed time. Junta, your acting skills are so wooden, I thought you were auditioning to be a coat rack.
There's a fine line between shade and being a... Tatsumi well and truly crossed the line. Not that I'm complaining. It was fun to watch.
Oh, I see. Tatsumi's true colors are coming out. Viewers, now you can see that Tatsumi is an insufferable cunt. At least I'm last to go, and brace yourselves. I'm not holding back.
Oh gosh, after those reads it's not Paris that is burning, it's the library. Junta, you're up.
Mewtwo, the judges have told you to stop relying on that runway. That way they can send you home this episode.
Oh. Hilarious. Fine, pretty boy, I'll give you that one.
Olivier, I thought you did great in the musical as the police officer. No, I didn't believe it as I said it either.
You know what? That's fair. I too am surprised I flopped the musical. I can't wait until he reads Tatsumi.
Koppa, you said in your entrance line that you would try to green shell into our heart, but like most green shells, you missed.
Shady, shady man. Who would have thought he had that wit? Based on episodes 1 through 4, I wouldn't have.
Yurio, I'm glad you and Tatsumi are becoming close in this competition. You deserve at least one fan.
Pizda.
Is it a Russian word? What does it mean?
I think you can guess. If not, Google it.
Finally, someone coming for Yurio. Honestly, I had forgotten he was still in this competition. Oh, there we go, that's a read.
Then we come to he who shall not be named, K. You're so skinny that when Almin hugs you, he must get a paper cut.
Okay, that was a good one. I like Junta.
Junta looks over at Ash and goes to hand back the glasses. Ash asks him if he's sure he's read everyone he wants to read.
Yes, that's all. I won't waste my breath on that sewage drag queen who spends all day talking about how he's polishing his sword and how he's a slay in drag despite not being close to a win. All you need to do is look up dickhead in the dictionary, and you'll see a helpful accompanying image of Tatsumi.
Yes, Junta. I am living for his reads. Go off, Queen. He's finally showing us some talent. Probably 4 weeks too late, but better late than never.
Wow, Junta, that was the ultimate in shade. Well, I guess we know who our winner is.
Yes, I finally won something on Anime Superstars.
Congratulations, Junta, you are the winner of this challenge.
Huh? Really? His reads were so basic though. He literally could have generated them on ChatGPT.
You probably didn't see the look on Tatsumi's face, but let's just say he was ashen. Beating him in this reading challenge might have been one of the best moments of my life.
Junta, please accept a generous 100,000 yen courtesy of Hanake Couture. Well, Queens, you know if we start the week with the reading challenge, you know that the maxi challenge is.
Wait, Ash, can I introduce the snatch game?
Well, Koopa, I guess you just did.
Oh gosh, I'm sorry, Ash.
It's all good, Koopa. Go on, then, as it seems Yugi and I were cast to be background characters this season.
Never a background character, Ash. Just a character not as important as the others. Well, Queens, you've heard it here. We're playing the snatch game.
Yes, this challenge is mine to win.
Oh god. Please, please no. The snatch game is all improv. Send help. What am I going to do? Hopefully Esdeath can help me out. This is the challenge I have been dreading all season long.
Good luck, Queens, and don't fuck it up.
Junta goes to a workstation and pulls out a black and white bear suit. Kei asks if he can join Junta. Junta says he would love that. Kei smiles. Kei says with Almin gone he is trying to build connections with the other queens. Junta says he would love to get to know Kei. General Katsuki also asks if he can join Junta and Kei. Junta says he can definitely join them, though says he is surprised he isn't getting ready with Esdeath. Katsuki says he went over to get Esdeath's advice, though saw her flirting with Tatsumi and decided to go elsewhere. Junta says that's fair enough. Junta says the three of them need a group name. Kei suggests the Pretty Boy Alliance or the PBA for short. General Katsuki says he isn't usually considered a pretty boy but says he's happy to live his best pretty boy fantasy. Junta says that's the spirit, that the anime superstar gays need to stick together. Kei and General Katsuki laugh. General Katsuki asks who Junta is doing and he says he's doing Monokuma from Danganronpa. Katsuki says that is an interesting choice but he's sure Junta will pull it off. Junta says it's a risk, for sure, but he's leaning into his acting skills. Junta looks at Katsuki's robes and asks if he is playing Sokka from Avatar: The Last Airbender. Katsuki says yes, he wants to show off his goofball side and surprise the judges. Junta says that's a great idea. Kei asks if they can guess who he is doing based on the streetwear he has brought. Junta and Katsuki say they are not sure. Kei says he is doing Joey Wheeler, one of Yugi's best friends, and Junta says that's ballsy as hell but he respects it. Junta tells him to absolutely kill it and Kei smiles, thanking him.
Wow, I can't believe it. Junta and General Katsuki are so nice. I'm so glad I took a chance and sat with them. I'm really hoping this is the start of a good friendship. I'm feeling emotional in a heart-filled kind of way.
Tatsumi moves away from Esdeath's table and heads over to the Pretty Boy Alliance. He mutters something about feeling exhausted keeping up the flirtatious pretense with Esdeath. He tells Junta that he overheard them saying they are the Pretty Boy Alliance and asks if there is room for a fourth. Junta scoffs at him and says it's the Pretty Boy Alliance after all, so Tatsumi doesn't qualify. Tatsumi says he is technically the hottest man of Japan for 2024. Junta reiterates that the answer is no.
Jeez, you don't have to be a about it. I was just trying to save the Pretty Boy Alliance with some actual good looks.
Tatsumi goes over to Yurio and asks how he is going. Yurio says he's fine. Yurio continues that he's grateful to have avoided the bottom two the last few weeks but he really wants to place higher than safe. Tatsumi asks who he is playing this week and Yurio says he is playing Mitsukuni, Honey, Hananozuka from Auron High School Host Club. Tatsumi says that's an unexpected and great choice and that he's sure his Brotoje will do well this week.
What the hell is a Brotoje?
It's something Tatsumi created which is a cross between a bro and a protege.
Okay then. Well, it sounds like an endearing term, so I guess I'll take it.
Yurio asks who Tatsumi is playing and he says he is playing Junta. Junta's head immediately snaps up.
What the fuck did he just say?
Wait, did I just hear that right? Tatsumi is playing Junta in the snatch game? My god, that is absolutely delicious.
Junta goes over to Tatsumi and asks him if he is being serious. Tatsumi says deadly serious. Junta tells Tatsumi to make a different choice. Tatsumi shrugs his shoulders and said he doesn't have a backup. Junta shakes his head in disgust and says that Tatsumi better not play Junta as a prick during the snatch game. Tatsumi says he will be true to Junta's character and smirks at Junta. Junta's jaw clenches but instead of responding he decides to walk away.
Tatsumi is such an asshole. I just know he's gonna disrespect me the entire snatch game. I cannot let him outshine me today. I have never wanted to beat someone so badly in my life. He's bringing out a rage I didn't know I had in me.
Tatsumi is definitely causing drama for the sake of it. It's both annoying and at times mildly entertaining. Tatsumi as Junta will either be hilarious or a disaster. Either way, tensions between Tatsumi and Junta are at boiling point and something is going to happen today.
Producer Edward tells the queens to follow him to the snatch game and the queens make their way on set. I'm sorry General Katsuki, that means you're up for elimination. Olivier, you're safe. We hope this is your last trip up in the competition. Olivier, your runway really saved you this week.
General Katsuki, are you okay?
What is going on? 1 minute I was preparing for the snatch game, the next I was on stage and told I was lip syncing.
Wait, did you black out the entire snatch game and runway?
Oh god, I must have. Was it bad? What happened?
Let me fill you in because it was very spicy. The queens all entered the snatch game. Mewtwo played Pokemon League champion, Cynthia, sometimes called the Dumbledore of drag. Esdeath played Lola the Fish.
Lola the Fish is not very anime.
No, but she is an iconic cartoon drag race queen. Elle played both Jessie and James from Team Rocket, and it was an iconic performance.
I'm not surprised. That was a clever move from Elle.
I agree. Olivier played her brother Alex Louis Armstrong. When she was chatting with Esdeath, Mewtwo and Elle before the challenge, she said she wanted to play an over-the-top character who was different from her, though she didn't do a great job, as you heard in the critiques.
I'm not surprised. I wouldn't have thought Armstrong was a great character for her.
It definitely wasn't. Her biggest critique from Ash and Yugi was that she couldn't let go and just have fun.
I can see that happening. So who did everyone else play?
Yurio played Mitsukuni Honey Hananazuka from Auron High School Host Club.
What? Isn't Honey cutesy and sassy? That doesn't sound like Yurio at all.
I wouldn't have thought so either, though it really worked. I guess he gave the judges the versatility they were looking for. He was only safe, though.
You're kidding. Wow. Good for him, I guess. Did Kay play Joey Wheeler and Junta Monokuma?
Indeed. They both absolutely slayed. Kay was supremely confident as Joey. Ash gave him the prompt.
What happened when Yami Yugi was playing a shady game of poker?
Kay answered.
Oh, easy. I was playing a card game, right? And a guy with a mask tried to take my best buddy's soul. Yeah, no biggie. Just another Tuesday for Joey Wheeler.
Why he gave Joey Wheeler a Midwest American accent, I don't think anyone is sure, but it was funny.
That's awesome. Good for him. And how did Junta do?
Well, here's the thing. So, you might recall that Tatsumi was actually playing Junta.
That's right, I recall. The tension before Snatch Game was unbelievable. It was really stressing me out.
Exactly. Well anyway, Tatsumi absolutely flopped as Junta. He did this ugly mug for Snatch Game, and his running gag was that his character Junta thought he was so pretty despite being ugly. Ash was, for lack of a better word, Ashen.
Ash was Ashen. I see what you did there.
Thanks. Junta was able to be an absolute monster to Tatsumi playing his character Monokuma. At one point Ash gave Tatsumi the prompt.
Daijin is such an unusual cat. Instead of needing food for breakfast, he eats blank for breakfast.
What answer did Tatsumi give?
Tatsumi said he eats moisturizer for breakfast to keep himself looking beautiful. Tatsumi then proceeded to smear white cream all over his face.
That sounds extremely uncomfortable to watch.
Oh, it absolutely was.
Say, Edward, do you want to come out from behind the camera so the viewers can see you as you tell the story?
Oh, sure. Get ready for a beauty you didn't expect. I could be in the Pretty Boy Alliance.
You absolutely could be. So how did Junta respond as Monokuma to Tatsumi smearing moisturizer on his face?
Well, Junta, as Monokuma said,
Moisturizer for breakfast. That is a bold choice. With answers like that, you really will be lip syncing for your life. Ooh, poo, poo, poo.
Iconic. Good for Junta.
Ash was living for his ad-libs.
Okay, so Junta, K, and L slayed the challenge. Who won?
Junta was called the winner of the week. You should have seen the look on Tatsumi's face. He looked genuinely disgusted.
Awesome! I love that. Hold on, wait a second. I haven't asked how I did in the challenge. Oh no, what did I do?
Well, it wasn't terrible. Your answers just weren't funny. Ash gave you the prompt. Yugi doesn't use hairspray to style his wigs. Instead, he uses blank. Well, you answered that he used hairspray.
Oh god, tell me I didn't.
You did, unfortunately. Your only good quip was when Tatsumi made a joke about Junta's love life being dead and you said, "That's rough, buddy." He asked you how your love life was, and you commented that your girlfriend had turned into the moon.
Well, at least I got that reference in. I can see why I blocked out Snatch Game. I'm glad Tatsumi really flopped. Is he in the bottom lip syncing against me? Tell me his runway didn't save him?
Everyone had a great runway except for you, K and L. You'll be pleased to know you're against Tatsumi in the lip sync.
Well, if I have to lip sync, at least I can be the one to send him home.
Please eliminate him. He keeps going on and on about how great he is in these confessionals, and I'm growing wary of it. Get out there and slay the lip sync.
I'm scared to lip sync again, but I can't let Tatsumi beat me. I've got something to prove, and he can't be the one who sends me home.
Queens, welcome back. General Katsuki, are you feeling better?
Oh, yes, why do you ask?
You seemed completely out of it when we called the lip sync before.
Oh yes, I'm okay. I blacked out from the beginning of the Snatch Game until I was in the confessional with Edward.
Oh gosh, that doesn't sound great. Are you okay to lip sync?
I am ready to do so.
Very well. Tatsumi, your Snatch Game made us extremely uncomfortable. If you're going to play another queen, we suggest you make it funny and tactful.
Shocker. Even I couldn't make Junta funny. I took on an impossible challenge and did the best I could. Guess I need to slay this lip sync and send Japan's biggest crybaby home.
General Katsuki, improv just doesn't seem to be your thing. You tried to serve a knockout but we missed the punchlines. Queens, this week you were asked to prepare a lip sync to Home from Fruits Basket. Good luck, Queens, and please, don't fuck it up.
I'm torn. I've been courting Tatsumi for over 500 years, so I should be rooting for him. Though I've grown fond of Yuri. While he's not done well the last few episodes, I see a lot of potential in him that I want to nurture. I want him to be the fierce bitch I know he can be. I can't decide who to root for.
I'm obviously rooting for General Katsuki. He's in the Pretty Boy Alliance and he's my homie. And I hate Tatsumi with a passion.
The lip sync song was obviously chosen to favor Katsuki. It's a slow and emotive song. I guess the judges agree that Tatsumi needs to go.
General Katsuki attempts to embody the cutesy nature of the Fruits Basket intro. Tatsumi rips off his gown to reveal a school uniform. He serves boyish good looks and an upbeat performance. Both General Katsuki and Tatsumi had a great lip sync.
Queens, that was a good one. You were both neck and neck. On the one hand, Tatsumi has a better track record, on the other, General Katsuki did better in the challenge. I'll confer with the other judges and let you know your fate. Yugi and I have deliberated and the queen we've decided to save this week is Tatsumi. Shantae, you stay.
Obviously, did you doubt me for a second?
General Katsuki, our original pork cutlet queen. You served it hot and delicious, now go and make your next meal.
Judges, I want to thank you again for this opportunity. It meant the world to me, and I truly appreciate the second chance you gave me. I've made sisters in this competition, and I leave here a proud son in the House of Generals. Can I have one last request?
You can always ask.
Can you declare me the winner of Season 1?
General Katsuki, you're the winner of Season 1 of Cartoon Drag Race Anime Superstars.
Well, Queens, you heard it here. From Pork Cutlet Queen to first winner of Anime Superstars, I'll always triple Lutz around these sluts.
The queens laugh and Esdeath comes on stage and gives Katsuki a hug. She says to Katsuki she'll see him on the outside and get him ready for All Stars. Katsuki thanks her and Esdeath gives him a nod. He leaves the stage and Esdeath returns to her place.
Well, Queens, the game is on. Kisei, Ao Min, thank you for joining us this week as our guest judges. Kisei, as one of Ao Min's close friends, we thought it only right that you joined him on the panel. Can we entice you onto Anime Superstars Season 2?
After watching the Snatch Game, I'm not game to play ball. Improv is terrifying.
Okay, fair enough. We'll have to keep courting you. See what I did there? It was a basketball pun. Well, queens, get some rest because next week we have a surprise for you and you're not going to like it. But more on that next week.
Nope, I'm all done with surprises. No more surprises, please. Oh God, what will it be?
No matter the surprise, I'm poised and focused. I need a win and next week needs to be it.
The queens begin to head to Untucked. Kay goes down to the judges panel and says hi to Aomin. Kay blushes and gives Aomin a hug. Kisui sees Aomin and Kay holding hands and raises an eyebrow. He asks if Aomin has something to tell him. Aomin smiles. He's hesitant for a moment but says Kay is Aomin's boyfriend. Kisui raises his brow in surprise but says he's happy for him and he looks forward to getting to know Kay. Aomin asks if Kisui thinks the other generation of miracles will be supportive of him. Kisui says he expects they will. Aomin breathes a sigh of relief. Kay opts not to go to Untucked and spends time with Aomin. The queens enter Untucked, grabbing a mocktail as they sit on the couches. Tatsumi says to the other queens he is feeling great and that he really slayed that lip sync. He asks if the other queens enjoyed the lip sync. A silence falls over the queens as they sip their mocktails loudly. Tatsumi grins and says that his lip sync must have left the other queens speechless. Junta replies that no one is really happy to see him safe and everyone hoped he would flop the lip sync. Tatsumi tells Junta that's not very congenial and winks at Yurio. Yurio snickers. Junta says he isn't trying to be congenial and Tatsumi's pathological need for attention is extremely irritating. Tatsumi says he's just jealous because he could never slay a lip sync like that. Olivier said the only thing Tatsumi slays at is being an ass.
Wow. If you've even managed to piss off Olivier with your behavior, that's telling.
Tatsumi says he's just messing around. Olivier says sure. Tatsumi asks Olivier if she has something to say. Olivier says nothing that hasn't already been said. She coldly states that Tatsumi enjoys riling up the other queens and likes all the attention on him. She says that he sucks the joy out of the room because any genuine moment is ruined by his arrogance and constant need for attention. She states that even her laying into him like this is just feeding his need for attention and that is really pissing her off. She finishes by saying that mostly she pities him, because he'll leave this competition with no sisters and he'll wonder why he never has any close relationships or anyone in his life that he can rely on. There is a stunned silence in Untucked.
Wow. I mean, I don't think she's wrong, but I've never seen Olivier lose her cool like that. I think we could all use a break from this tension, but Tatsumi seems determined to systematically alienate each queen in the competition.
Something interesting I noticed when Olivier said she pitted Tatsumi was that a crack appeared in his armor. Olivier hit a nerve. The smart-ass, cocky Tatsumi disappeared and there was a sliver of vulnerability when she said she pitted him. It was nice to see him humbled.
Tatsumi goes quiet and sits back down. He doesn't say anything for a moment and then says, yeah, whatever. Yurio says that Olivier was being a bit harsh but before Yurio can continue Death talks over the top of him.
Excuse me, I was speaking.
I've had enough of the drama, so I'm aggressively changing topics.
Death says congratulations to Junta for winning Snatch Game and cementing his place as a competitor in this competition. Junta looks at her suspiciously. Death reiterates that she's still going to crush Junta in this competition but gives credit where credit is due. Junta thanks her but says she best watch out as he wants to be the first queen to 2 wins. General Death says bring it on. Mewtwo says Elle's performance as Jessie and James was iconic. Mewtwo also mentions that Death not flopping as Lola the fish is probably iconic but that Lola will probably still come for her on Twitter. Death laughs and says it was worth it. The queens continue to chat with both Yurio and Tatsumi remaining quiet for the rest of Untucked.